Right boys, so EA have released a summer swaps free objectives. Today I'm going to go over them step by step, give you guys my tips, tricks. We've got two squad builders built up for the squad battles objectives. So without further ado boys, let's get into it. As well, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. It is completely free, and we are, I think, when we're recording this, around 20 subscribers away from 14k. Now, EA releasing these is absolutely massive because, in my opinion, these are well worth a grind. By completing all 4 of these objectives, you can get 8 summer swaps tokens, 2 for each one you do complete. It's a little bit of a grind for each one. The squad battle ones is obviously going to consist of up to 8 games, assuming you win them all, which is going to be around 2.5 hours of a grind, but you are going to get 4 summer swap tokens, which is most definitely respectable. As for the 1 league ones, we'll get into a little bit more shortly. For the 1 league ones, there's not too much tips I can give you for them because this just consists of building a team with the players that you have, jumping into the game mode and going from there. But first of all, we're going to look at the squad battle ones, alright? So win 4 squad battle matches on at least world class difficulty with 11 Saudi Pro League players in your starting squad. You've then got win 4 squad battles on world class with 11 Turkish Super League players in your squad, alright? So honestly, Turkish League and the Saudi Pro League was expected. I think someone on my last Summer Swaps 2 video actually kind of predicted it as well. They said they'd probably do this next, and I think they went 3 out of 4. I think they got Bundesliga, Turkish League, and the Saudi League right. I think they put something else for Eredivisie, but they got 3 out of 4 right, which is quite impressive. They predicted the leagues EA would use beforehand. Now, for the Saudi Pro League and the Turkish League, we've gone ahead and built up some squad builders that you guys can copy. Now, this is a Turkish League squad builder, and it will cost you no more than 10,000 coins to build, maybe 15,000 if the prices go up, which they shouldn't do. With some player picks out of a minute, the gold rares might go up to maybe 1,000, 1.1k, but it should be all good. Left striker, we've gone for Alex Teixeira, hopefully I am pronouncing that correctly. Right striker is Valencia, and Kudu at left mid with Pizzi and Hamsik in the midfield, Viska at right mid, Van Aanholt at left back, Vida and Loyundama, hopefully pronouncing that somewhat correctly, as our centre back partnership, Rozier at right back, and Muslera in net. So that is the Turkish League squad builder. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the Saudi League squad builder. Obviously, if you have to, you can most definitely pause this video, but we're not going to go through them one by one and go into their stats because we don't want to be here all day. But for the Saudi League, we have got Anderson Talisca at left striker, who I don't want to once again go too in depth with him, but 4-star, 84 agility, or 87 agility, sorry, and if you have used his ones to watch, you'll know he's a very good card. Right striker, we've got Jonathan Rodriguez, Al Dasari at left mid with Matias Pereira, Martinez as our 2 centre mids, Carrillo at right mid, Al Sharani at left back, Al Amri at centre back, not even going to try pronounce this name, Fai at right back with Faye, I'm not too sure how that one's pronounced, and Marcelo in net. Once again, if you do have to pause them, then you can go ahead and do so. Now, we're going to head into the 2 tips that we have got for the squad battles. Now, actually 3 of them. We've got 3 tips today. First tip is going to be the bench. Now, as you can see, I filled out the bench with my best players in my club. You can make up to 3 substitutions a game, so make sure you take advantage of that and sub off the 3 weakest players in your team. I'd personally sub off a defender, midfielder, and striker just to give you that I say depth, just to give you that variety and give you that like your defense is going to be a lot better, your midfield's going to, I'm trying to find the right word, it's going to give you that stability. I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but you get what I mean, right? So I'm going to sub on a striker. I'd say Talisca's a better striker out of the 2, so I'd sub on my R9 straight away. Obviously, you do have to pause it straight away, by the way. You can't change it like this. You have to go into the game, then pause it straight away, so it still counts for the 11 Saudi players. Your midfielders, left mid and right mid are pacey. They'll do the job. This dude's quite fast as well. It looks like Pereira's the weakest link. Odd sub on mine Kunku. And out of the centre backs, this man's only got 66 pace because the Saudi League centre backs, you can look for yourself, are very slow. And it's the best player from a bad bunch, right? So I'll probably make these subs, go into a game like this, and obviously don't go into a game like this, but this is what your team will look like in game after you make those substitutions. Reminder, obviously I think it's quite obvious, but you'd want to go into the game with the 11 Saudi players like so, and the exact same goes for the Turkish League team as well. Now, the second tip is going to be chemistry styles. Now, we're going to head on over to the footbin view here. Let me switch over with this pretty nice transition I spent like an hour making. We're going to head on over to the footbin view here. And the player we're going to use as an example today is Alex. We're going to use Alex Teixeira. Now, as you can see, you've got to search your name up, try and find him on Footbin. Need to put in the second name, his last name, because his first name is too much Alex's for him to pop up. But as you can see, it comes up with his PS4 price, Xbox price, and PC price. Now, every single card comes with a basic applied, so this is what he will look like in-game, assuming he's on full chemistry, in a squad that is basically full chemistry. Now, as you can see, he gets a +3 pace, +4 passing, and he's a 78 rated striker in-game. In fact, he's a bit of a weird one, because he's actually a high rated cam than he is a striker, despite his actual position being a striker. Now, our job here, in the beauty of Footbin, we can test out all these different chem styles, and we want to try get this rating for his striker, which is where we're going to be playing him, as high as possible. A finisher puts him to an 81. Does anything beat that? It doesn't look like it does. A marksman keeps him at an 81. So a finisher or a marksman is probably the way to go, which puts him to an 81. In fact, a finisher gives him an 81.1, whereas a marksman gives him an 80.6, just rounded up to an 81. So it looks like a finisher is the smartest option, and instead of being a 78 rated striker with the usual basic the card will come with, he will be an 81 rated striker, meaning he'll perform 3 ratings above what he would usually play like. 86 shooting in game, 89 dribbling, he'll get 95 agility in game, he'll go to 92 finishing as well. So make sure to get the chemistry styles going. You do not have to go out, and I would 100% avoid spending lots of coins on hunters and shadows. So just search your club for some chemistry styles you have got and apply them to the players that you will not be subbing off. No point putting a chem style on Valencia, Hamsik, and Vida, because you're going to be subbing them off anyway, as I said, using your free super subs in tip number 1. Now, tip number 3 for the squad battles. This one is important, so make sure you listen up. Lots of you guys know this already, and it is quite common knowledge, but not everyone does. So basically, with squad battles, you get 4 teams every single refresh, you could say. Usually, they give you 2 really good ones, which you'd want to avoid. Sometimes, if you're unlucky, they'll give you 3 good ones. As you can see, we've got teams that consist of 48 chem, 89 rating, 79 chem with 100 rating. It's just really random. You play random teams. Now, reminder, you have to be playing these games on world class difficulty. So what your job is to choose the worst team from each selection, and as you can see, you've got a square or X on the Xbox to update your opponents. You can update your opponents, or I guess you'd say update your opponents. You can update your opponents, your 4 matches, every 5 minutes. You do not have to wait every day. You can update them every 5 minutes. So you can play the worst team, which I think it is this one, because we did this video before and I had to re-record it. But this is a relatively average team, so I'd go ahead and play this on world class. Then after I play that, I'd be able to refresh it again like this. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to waste it for myself, because I want to play this game because it's a relatively poor team. I'll play this later on doing the objectives when I do them. So you'd play it, pick the worst team from the selection, play that game, go ahead and refresh, and then once again choose the worst team. You can view the squad by pressing triangle, by the way. I think it does say in the bottom left anyway. Yeah, triangle to view squad, as you can see in the bottom left next to the update opponents, where it says select back, update opponents, and view squad. So you can hover over it and have a look. Sometimes, see, this says it's 79 rated, but you actually have a look at the squad, and it's really only got like an average of like 74 rating maybe in the starting 11. It's just the 98s and 96s on the bench is bumping that rating up a bit. So do not be fooled by that rating, because sometimes it's an 80 rated team with some bronze players starting in the defense. So just be wary with that. So basically, use your super subs, get the chem styles on your players that you're not subbing off, so 8 of the players, as you're only allowed 3 super subs anyway. In fact, probably only 7 of the players, because you're not going to be putting a chem style on your keeper. There's no point doing that. And then you'd want to be going ahead and just refreshing the squad battles and keep playing the poor teams. As for the one league ones, we've got Bundesliga and the Eredivisie. Now with these, this is a very simple one, because I cannot really give you guys a squad builder for this, because this is down to the players you've got in your club. What your job is now to do, basically go ahead and search your club for Bundesliga and Eredivisie players that you may have. For example, I've already got a Bundesliga player on my bench in Nkunku, so I'd go ahead, have a look, go down to Germany 1/Bundesliga, and I've got Gnabry and Nkunku. I know for a fact all of these guys are first owner. If you guys don't know what first owner means, it is someone that you have packed or that you are the first owner of. As you can see, it says brought for first owner, so obviously I'm the first owner of him. So you have to either pack him, or you have to have it be a completed SBC. If you buy a player off a transfer market, obviously it's not going to be first owner, because someone else would have had to list him on the transfer market, meaning they would have had to pack him. So first owner, players that you have packed. Now I'd be able to use Nkunku, Gnabry, and just build the team around them, because the rest of my players are not great from the Bundesliga. Eredivisie, we'll have a look. I think I've only got Reece Nelson, and that's it. Reece Nelson is the only like first owner good card. Obviously I've got my gold first owners. In fact, these guys, as you can see, brought for 600 coins. He is not a first owner. I would have brought him at some point, which means he will not count. 8 of the starting 11 players in your team have to be first owner. The bench does not matter. You can just buy players for 200 coins and use them on the bench. But you need 8 out of 11 starting 11 players to be first owner. Now, there's no necessary way to go ahead and get first owner players other than grinding the game and opening packs. And obviously I don't recommend putting FIFA points up whatsoever and opening packs at this point of the game to try and get Bundesliga players. So what I would do is you'd grind rivals, grind champs, squad battles, open those packs and fill the club with some players, just so you're constantly, you know, getting them in. The only issue with that though, you've obviously got a time limit. Didn't mean to go into squad builders there. You've obviously got a time limit when it comes to the 1 league game mode, which is where these matches will be played. Go under play friendlies, play online, and as you can see, 1 league. Now, we've got 14 days, or 13 days, 23 hours. You're only allowed 4 matches a day. And that 4 matches a day limit is absolutely fraudulent from EA. I don't know who thought it was a good idea to put a match limit on this, but basically, even if you win all 4 and pull off a miracle and win all 4 of your games, you're still going to have to wait till the next day to try and get your next token done, because you have to win 4 for every objective, don't you? So the longer you leave it, the less chances you are going to have. So you want to try and get those first owner players and these 1 league objectives done as soon as possible. Make sure you're keeping an eye on that countdown, making sure you can try and win maybe. If you can win 2 a day is usually my goal. If I can win 2 out of 4 a day, which means within 4 days I'll get all of them done. Obviously every 2 days I'll get every 1 objective done, because you have to win 4. Obviously 2 times 4 is going to be 8, which is the required wins needed to get all 4 swaps tokens that are available. One last thing I can leave you guys with, if you are really down bad trying to get, like, you need 1 or 2 more Bundesliga players, go over to Foundation, Silver Upgrade. You can trade 11 silver players for 3 gold commons. It's just a little chance of getting some Bundesliga. Wouldn't recommend doing this for Eredivisie players, as majority of Eredivisie players are either bronze or silver. But, I mean, there's a few gold Eredivisie players that you could try and get. So what I'll do is I'll obviously put some silver players into that. There's always a 2 rare gold one. If you put some gold commons, obviously not from the Bundesliga, into it, try get some Bundesliga players that way to get the first owner. And of course, a quick little recap before we end off. For Saudi Pro League and Turkish in-squad battles, make sure you're using your super subs, give the chemistry styles on your players, and keep refreshing your squad battles, playing the worst one in each set of 4 every time. Bundesliga and Eredivisie, once again, it's just it's a first 2 game mode. If you score first, you win. Very self-explanatory. The 1 league I can't help with too much, because as I said, it's just using players that you've packed. But if you're struggling for first owner players, then make sure to try and do the silver upgrades in the foundation section in squad builders. You get 3 gold common players for trading 11 silvers, and it just gives you that little chance at getting a Bundesliga first owner. Probably be a very poor Bundesliga gold common card, but hey, at least you'd be able to play a game, won't you? Lads, good luck, happy grinding. If I left any of your questions unanswered, make sure to get them in down below in the comments, and I'll reply to you within the next 12 hours, hopefully. Much love, boys. It's been your boy Davis. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe, because as I said, we're getting really close to 14,000. Much love, boys.